What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. As a follow-up to my video on Monday, I have some recent sales for vintage Kenner Star Wars items, as well as a few foreign items. I've got some tri-logos, I've got a Spanish graded figure, a nice mix. And I think that this supports what we've been talking about in past videos about high grade and about items that are harder to find are going to continue to hold their value. So I did try to include both graded as well as ungraded, loose graded as well as mint on card, a wide variety of items and price points just to kind of cover my subscriber base, because not everyone is dropping $1,000 like on this double telescoping Luke. So, and as a corollary to this video and to Monday's video about vintage Kenner Star Wars prices, a reminder that on Friday, January 7th, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and that should be 8 p.m. UK time, I'm going to do a quick live stream with Rogue 5 Toys on Facebook. One of their founders, Chris W., he's been on the channel before. I need to get some other folks on there. It seems like every time I do a live stream, it's with Chris. But he's probably the kind of guy that you guys want to hear from, because he's the one that's got the Star Wars stuff. If you guys are looking to collect and looking to buy in 2022, you want to get to know Chris and his... he's got a great group. He and the other guys from the 5 Idiots Talking Toys podcast and YouTube page. His brother Charles, John Walden, Brandon Alamo. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but those are the guys that have a great sales page on Facebook, and they always have lots of good stuff for sale. And the prices are extremely reasonable. I bought from them many times. So we're going to do a live stream. Again, it's this coming Friday, January 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. UK time. It's already up on my YouTube channel with a reminder, so make sure to set your alarms. We are encouraging viewer participation. Let's dig into some items that have sold over the last 4 or 5 days. Again, the first one is this AFA 70 double telescoping Luke Skywalker. With a COA. This is the same seller that we've talked about in the past, and it seems like he's got a plethora of these very rare figures. And this is one that was graded 70. He's had one, I believe, that was graded 85, as well as one that was graded 75. So this was the 70 grade item. This one sold for $10.75. I think that price is actually pretty good. Ungraded with the saber. You know, this saber is very tough to measure and make sure it's all complete and things like that. This one looks like it might be missing a small little segment at the top there, at the tip. Yeah, here it is. Inner filament is missing 3 to 4 millimeters from the tip. And that's why it's a little short inside the case. If you see right there at the very tip there, it's you know, part of that was broken off. And that's what the cause of the score is, of the 70 score, because the figure itself looks to be in pretty excellent condition. So whenever that double telescoping saber is missing a small portion of the tip, it's automatically going to cut the grade down to a 70, and that's what the case was here. But it's still sold for $10.75, so it's a beautiful item, and the grade almost doesn't matter when you're getting one of these. It's pretty cool. There were 2 vinyl cape Jawas that sold. Both of them sold at auction. They were 2 different grades. We're going to start with the AFA 80. Now, this is that same seller again that just had the double telescoping Luke. This one sold for $2,627. So that's a big number. And, you know, that's well above what I paid for my AFA 85, admittedly, several years ago. So it just shows you how much these harder to find. And I wouldn't call a vinyl cape Jawa that hard to find. It's just expensive. You know, there just weren't a ton of them made. I don't know what the population is for these within the AFA population report, but I bet it's not that many. It's probably a few hundred is my guess. Just a guess, but that's the AFA 80. What do you guys think a Collector Archive Services 90 sold for? So you're going from an AFA 80 to a CAS 90. And what would you think the price difference would be? Me personally, I expected the price to be closer to $3,000. Let's see what the total was. Here was the CAS 90. It sold for $4,150 on 50 bids. So it was a high bid item. It was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but $4,150. And, you know, I was speaking with Chris W., and I'm sure he'll have more to say about prices on Friday in the live stream, but he said that's actually pretty low, if you ask me. So that was a shocker to me. according to him, he was saying that that's actually a pretty low number. So that gives you a couple of data points for an AFA 80, which was this one, 2627, in case those of you are looking to add to your Holy Grail collection this year. And then the CAS 90 sold for 4150. So two big numbers. This was an interesting one. This was a Spanish PvP Hammerhead, and the eyes were pointed forward. This seller, which was the Muffin Man over in the UK, I bought from him before, and we've talked about his items before, but this is the no COO with the G stamp. That just means that the Hong Kong has been scarred out on the figure mold, and all that's left is that G from the Hong Kong. So that one sold for 85. It's a PvP straight eyes. I don't know what is this one said, you know, the description says that the straight eyes is more rare than pointed right or left. I have no idea. But just looking at the figure, I can't say that I've seen a straight ahead eyes. Usually the PvP is pointed to the right hand side. It's going to be my left on the video, but the right hand side of the figure is usually which way they're pointing. So, you know, I don't know enough about the different eye paint variations for the Hammerhead, the Spanish Hammerhead, but that just gives you a data point there. It sold for 203 plus shipping, and that was a buy it now situation. Here's another buy it now situation. This Lobot sat on the market for a while, but it did finally sell here this past week. It sold for $652.50. This was an unpunched, beautiful AFA 80 debut card survival kit 41A. Lobot, clear blister, really nice. Straight 80s for the subscores. And again, that one sold for $652.50 with free shipping. This one was a fantastic deal. This one was a Palitoy 45 back Forlom UKG 80. And it's got that beautiful 45 back sticker on the front there, as well as the Palitoy logo on the front. It was yellowed, but very slightly yellowed. It was unpunched also. It was listed for $725, which I think it was worth that sales price all day long. But someone did get a discount on that, the best offer accepted. And I did look it up, and now I've forgotten the number. I want to say it was $675, but I'm going on memory now because I did look it up on 130point.com. And then by the time I got to it in the video, I've forgotten it. That's how bad my memory is. But what a beautiful item. And I think, honestly, whoever got that was a fantastic deal. It didn't sit very long. It was on the market for about a day or so. And I was drooling about it. I just didn't feel like spending that kind of money right now. But that was a fantastic deal, yellowed blister or not, to get an ESB Palitoy. The ESB Palitoys in general are just really expensive, and that was a great deal. This seller, Lee's Toy Review, had a number of really nice tri logos for sale, and we're going to go less rare all the way up to some last 17. I don't think I pulled all of them. I just pulled up a number of them. But this was a tri logo reuse. It was punched. It was in pretty good condition, though. It's probably like 80 grade condition. It's always tough to tell with the blisters, but had one little ding there on the left-hand side at the top, as you can see there. But overall, really great shape. It's a little bit light litho wear in that top right corner from probably where they took the sticker off. And but the rest of the card was awesome condition. I think it would probably get an 80. That one sold for $165 on 14 bids. I thought that was a great price. This C-3PO removable limbs was probably a 75 or 75 plus because of that crease on the bottom of the card there. That one sold for $281 plus shipping. A couple of data points there for tri logos. Then we got a couple of last 17 that the same seller had. This was an unpunched R2-D2 pop-up saber. Tough to say what it was graded at. If I had to guess, because of that damage to the blister, it'd probably be a 75 at best. But these last 17 mint on card, it's going to command 4 figures, and that one sold for $1135 plus shipping. And then he also had this one, which I thought was a pretty good deal overall, really. It was a tri-logo Han in his carbonite chamber, so carbon freezer Han, and it had a little bit of crease up there in the upper right-hand corner, but unpunched, really nice card, and it sold for $960. I think that's really pretty close to in line with market, given that those loose in near mint condition can sell for $300 to $400 pretty easily. So $960 for that one, I thought was a great price. This one wasn't graded, but it was a mint and sealed box Biker Scout laser pistol from the Return of the Jedi movie line, and it was in an AFA sledding case, but the packaging and everything looked fantastic. It had one little crinkle there in the lower left-hand corner, but just very, very light edge wear all the way around, and you can see that it's still factory sealed there. But a really nice example. That one sold for $425. I thought that was a great deal, whoever picked that one up. A couple of other mint on cards that sold. This one was the 65 back Bosk, and you can see where they put the SKU number change sticker up in the upper left-hand corner. I've got one or two like that. A couple of price tags there. It dropped from on Kmart from $277 all the way down to the low price of $237 back when this was originally sold. Probably like a 75 plus grade. It was heavily yellowed, but it sold for $273 on free shipping. That's probably about right for this one. It might hit an 80, but I think it's more like a 75 plus. And then this one was a really nice one. This one was labeled as a yellowed blister wicket 77 back A. The blister looked clear to me. I don't know why this got the yellow score. You can see the yellowed underneath the 80 for the total score there, yellowed near mint. But if it was yellowed, it was very slightly yellowed. It looked very, very clean to me and unpunched. That one sold at auction, $590 on 18 bids. That one sold on December 29th. That was a great deal, I think. I mean, wickets in general are pretty popular, but I mean, looking at that blister, it does not look yellow to me at all. So it must have been a very, very faint yellow to get that yellow designation. Here's another 77 back. This was the Leia. This one was the 77 back B, I assume, since the... Oh, no, it's the A. I'm sorry. This is the A. I was getting it mixed up with the 65 backs, having the blacked out Ewoks. But the 77s came like this. So it's a 77A, I believe. And really good shape overall. That probably... I bought from this seller before. I got a Tri-Logo Rancor Keeper from this seller. He always has really good photos, or she. And that one sold for $295 on with $10 shipping. I thought that was a very fair price. Blister looked really good, even though it was yellowed. It was really clean, no dings. So I think that was a great price there. Some last 17 and one droids figure to finish things off for this video, but this was a last 17 Warwick AFA 85 old style case. That one sold for $383 on 35 bids. And the same seller again also had a AFA 85 Lumat, loose graded. That one sold for $427. And then CIB down in Atlanta, Georgia, who's affiliated with AFA, or Norcross, Georgia, they sold an AFA 85 Plus yak face. And we got another really big number for the 85 Plus. 85 Pluses and 90s, as we talked about, always command massive price premiums. And this one was no exception. That one sold for $1,300 on 28 bids. That one just closed yesterday, January 2nd. Archival case, there's the label on that one, 85 plus. So wow, another really big number for a last 17 yak. And then that same seller that had a number of other, like the CAS 90 Jawa, he did have this one, an AFA 85 Luke Stormtrooper. This price really surprised me. I was expecting kind of $700 to $900 max. That one sold for $1,363. So $1,363 on 43 bids. So this was a very popular item. It did have the newer case style, but wow, that price really surprised me for a loose graded Luke Stormtrooper. I mean, mint on card, I think you're talking $2,000 minimum now, based on some of these sales prices for the loose graded figures. And then I guess he had to relist the Droids R2-D2 pop-up, because that one was relisted. This is one we covered in a market update last week, but this one did get relisted. It had the coin inside that was graded 85, and then the figure itself was 85. It sold the first time. I should have looked it up, what it sold for the first time, but it was a much higher number. This one sold for $921 on the second go-around. So I guess he had a non-paying buyer, which does happen. And again, the same thing happened with this one. The Boba Fett, the Polish bootleg Boba Fett, third generation from the mid-1990s. It was encased with kind of a long rifle, and it was graded 80 plus. You can see there, light gray with a bright green chest. And it sold the first time in the 800s, and so, you know, the second time around, I guess after the buyer didn't pay, it sold even higher. So it still sold about double what I expected, but, you know, maybe not double, but, you know, I was expecting kind of 500 to 600 range. That's kind of what I consider to be market value, but I think that, you know, anything Boba Fett continues to go up, but I was really surprised by this number. $920 on the second go-around for this Polish Boba Fett. Took that one home, 58 bids. So congratulations to the seller there on some really high prices on some beautiful loose gridded gems. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I try to cover vintage Kenner Star Wars figures, price guides, and just kind of keep you updated what the market's doing, we'll see how the market holds up into 2022. And I also do the same thing for the vintage collection, modern vintage collection from Hasbro. And very occasionally, I'll cover CGC graded Star Wars comics and what the prices are doing there. So, but anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.